Cambridge City Council now in session. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Conaway.
Here.
Evancho. Loffman.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Marlin.
Here.
McMillan. Here. Wolverton.
Here.
Entertain a motion to excuse Councilman Vancho. Mr. Marlin.
I make a motion we excuse Councilman Evancho.
Mr. Wolverton.
I second that motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Reading of the minutes. Mr. Marlin.
I make a motion we dispense with the reading of the minutes and place on file.
Mr. Conaway.
Second.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion is granted. Mayor's report.
Well, Council, tonight I don't have, we're finishing up a lot of projects and I don't want to load the gun with too many more things. Maybe I shouldn't use that analogy, but anyhow. I do have a few informational purpose things I want to throw out there. We got a lot of ongoing projects around town. 50 still going on. A couple other building issues are still taking place. And it's kind of another one of those things that happened in our community. We lost Frank Stroud, our past police chief. It was in the paper yesterday. I think most of us saw it there, and of course on the radio and things. But he was police chief before I got here, but he's always been a Bobcat, so it's with his family. We send our condolences as a city, and thanks for his work working for Cambridge in that period of time. And he always cared about the community, and so we'll just leave it at that. But I want to make sure I mentioned that. And got a couple other little things here. Basically, in property code, we are going to have a fall cleanup, but we're going to throw our hat in the ring with the CDC on it's a countywide litter cleanup and tire amnesty. It's on the 22nd and 23rd from 9 a.m. to 6. There's going to be 10 collection sites scattered across the county. The one closest to us will be on a high avenue. So now you want to make sure they don't get twisted around. Last year we did a half a day at the street garage in the fall because they couldn't get this litter grant. The year before we worked with them on a high avenue and it was very successful. So we're going back out that way. And then honestly, I mean, they handle more out there and it does work pretty well if we work all throw in together. And there'll be some other townships, I'm sure. I don't have the number, but probably be close to double digits there helping out with that. Individuals can bring litter, tires, unwanted items, etc., and dispose of them for free. First, non-commercial tires are free, $1 a tire after that, and a dollar for tractor tires. Well, that's a deal there because them babies are a couple, $3 even on a good day. The project was made possible thanks to a $40,000 EPA grant with $4,000 matching dollars from the CDC. So this, again, this is what you want to access. And this is just the mayor talking here. I'm starting to see mattresses popping out on porches again. I don't know what kind of serious, what drives that. It used to be maybe once a year. Now I'm seeing it at least twice a year and sometimes 3. So get those babies rolling. You can take them over to East on 40, $10, drop them off. You can't leave them on the front porch. And they don't mysteriously disappear on their own. There's some people out there that think some kind of magic, something just makes them disappear. I talked to Kim Conrath earlier today. Last week alone, she sent out 40 notices on junk on porches and overflow things, and it's just amazing how this porch is good today, and 2 days later this one starts up. I don't know if it's a keep up thing or whatever, but and also junk cars. We're starting to have a rash of that again. Air on tires is really not complicated. If you really need someone to explain it to you, you're welcome to call here, but when the tire lays flat for like 2 and 3 weeks, I don't know what they think's going on there, but that'll draw a ticket every time too. Again, if residents have problems in that area, please call our offices and we'll get someone turned around and tag it. Again, I've said this before, when you allow this stuff to develop, it's proven that we're going to have problems. Could be rodents, it can be dope activity. Quite honestly, I've been studying a lot of this stuff, and the more when you let this stuff develop, you're going to have more problems. And we've done a pretty good job of tightening it up. It's just amazing to me how they just keep pressuring us in that area. They being whoever is doing this stuff. I personally have been on the site a couple of them the last couple of weeks, and patience is wearing thin on some of this stuff. It's habitual. And we are working to streamline our code to snatch some of these homes in the drug situation. We thought we had that ironed out, and sure enough, you know how it is in government, someone's found a way to weasel out of it, so we're having to go through this. And the county prosecuting attorney's working on that, and we're trying to work together on it. The land bank is moving ahead very well. Real excited about that. Jim Caldwell's got some good ideas there, and Kim both Kims downstairs, so I think better days are ahead. Although we're going to have to crack a few eggs to get an omelet or two. And I may be coming to you on one coming up for, we might have to put some pressure on seizing a property in order to do some things we need to do. So I'll let you know more about that later. But I really don't like to go down that road if I can help it. But unfortunately, we just got to quit messing around sometimes. That's pretty much about it. Anybody have any questions, anything they're wondering about? Or?
Yeah, the cleanup is in September 22nd?
Yes, September.
Thank you.
Any other questions of the mayor? Ms. McMillan?
I just want to kind of add to that, too, since you asked, John. I talked to Ron Gambita at the CDC. They can use some help, not necessarily unloading or anything like that, but to guide persons that are looking for the dumpsters and so on and so forth, where to go. They could use some help. So if you have any questions or maybe want to step up, I am going to help, I believe, on that Saturday. Just give Ron Gambita at the CDC a call, and he'll be glad to direct you.
I thought about maybe talking to Tom Lanning and then maybe get a sign down there.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid when people hear their habit is forming, which is a good thing, but then they'll run there and then not know where, people sometimes may
I
not
think
know
that
where
happened
High
last
Avenue
year,
is.
too.
Place
Folks
it's gonna
didn't
be,
know
it's
exactly where to go, but Ron said they could use some help.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Marlowe?
Ohio Avenue is the only place it's going to be?
That's the one closest for us.
City.
There'll be some other ones in the county. I'm sure Ron will get it out there through the media sources, but as of where those locations are, I do not have those in front of me.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
We'll go to communications.
I have two requests from the city auditor. The first one is asking council to consider the fact that interest rates have gone down. She would like to consider looking into a bond refunding of the municipal court bonds.
Mr. Marlowe?
I make a motion that we give that to the Finance Committee.
Ms. McMillan?
I'll second that.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. Next, please.
And the next request from the auditor is the annual request to approve the amounts and rates of the fire tax levies.
Mr. Wolverton?
I make a motion to send that to Finance Committee.
Mr. Leonard?
I'll second that.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. That's it. We'll go to reports of committees.
Report of Finance Committee, September the 11th. We recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Transfer $1,000 from municipal court other expenses to acting assigned judges. Transfer $500 from municipal court equipment to acting assigned judges. Transfer $500 from municipal court maintenance and repairs to acting assigned judges. Transfer $600 from council advertising to services by contract. Appropriate $140,000 to capital fund for the purchase of the Ellis Building. Appropriate $25,000 to replace the land bank funds. Transfer $3,000 from treasurer insurance to services by contract. Appropriate $478.80 to code enforcement services by contract.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, September the 11th. We recommend that council authorize the mayor to enter into settlement agreement regarding income tax dispute.
Questions of the committee on that report? Okay. Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, September the 11th. We recommend that council adopt an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $3 million building improvement bonds and declaring an emergency.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. Anything? Seeing nothing, we'll go to the audience portion, and don't have anybody in the audience tonight, so we'll go to new business. Does anybody have anything under new business? We'll go to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to suspend.
Ms. McMillan.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension.
Leonard?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
McMillan?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Marlin?
Yes.
Conaway?
Yes.
Mr. Wolverton,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Marlin.
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Marlin?
Yes.
Conaway?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
McMillan?
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into settlement agreement regarding income tax dispute.
Mr. Leonard,
Motion to suspend?
McMillan.
Second to suspend.
Roll call on the suspension.
Conaway?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Marlin?
Yes.
McMillan?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to pass?
Mr. Conaway,
Second to pass.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
McMillan?
Yes.
Marlin?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Conaway?
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $3 million building improvement bonds and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to suspend?
Millen,
Second to suspend.
roll call on the suspension.
Leonard?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
McMillan?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Marlin?
Yes.
Conaway?
Yes.
Mr. Marlin,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Leonard,
Second to pass?
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Marlin?
Yes.
Conaway?
Yes.
Wolverton?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Loffman?
Yes.
McMillan?
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. And that's it, correct? Mr. Loffman, you want to step in here for Mr. Rancho for miscellaneous and set the meeting time?
Sure. Finance Committee will meet next Monday at 4:30.
Anybody else have anything under miscellaneous? See nothing, Mr. Marlin?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
We are adjourned.